right, they saying the Chicago Bears are having conversations about benching Caleb Williams. They next stretch of games. What are we now? Some teams around 10 games, depending if they had their bye or not. But I know they got Minnesota, Green Bay, Detroit twice. Shout out to Lions. Seattle and San Francisco coming up. All those teams can make the playoffs. I'm not sure how many times they played Green Bay or Minnesota already. So, excuse me. Check out the NFC North playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. It got to the point where some of the veteran players went to the people that's in charge about benching Caleb Williams. By wanting them bench and going with Tyson, whoever the backup is. Also, Keenan Allen spoke on Shane Waldron, getting the boot, the offensive coordinator, and I heard him say that he was just too nice. He basically was a pushover and letting guys develop in bad habits and not holding them accountable. Okay, so my opinion, my objective opinion is, people say you can't bench him now, you can't. Now, according to Adam Schefter on Get Up this morning on ESPN, basically said they want to save him because they got a brutal stretch and they want to save him and all of that. And, I mean, I guess you see what happened with Bryce Young. Took a few weeks off, put him back in, seeing how to understand. You do what's best for your franchise. I mean, Chicago has been, for the Bears, a quarterback graveyard. I mean, you just go through them. They didn't kill their career. Jay Cutler was pretty solid there, but remember they didn't draft him. You go through Eric Kramer. I think they signed Eric Kramer. I think it was before or after he made the playoffs with the Lions. Can't remember. I think it was after. Jim McMahon, he was in, was cool out of BYU. They did win the Super Bowl with him. But for the most part, Trubisky, so they ain't really gave a great environment for a quarterback. And what Washington did, whatever they did, for their quarterback, Houston did for their quarterback. They really probably need to bring in somebody who's a quarterback specialist or a group of guys, maybe some consultant, a head coach that could really salvage him. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say salvage. I think that's too harsh of a word, but, people say it's Eberflus and all this type of stuff. And I didn't know he was such a small guy. He's 6'1". I'm thinking he probably 6'3", 6'4". That's not small, but then if you look at the beginning of their season, that Titans game, I watched that game. They shouldn't have won that game. Block punt, and then Will Levis handed them the game. So a lot of the wins they got, they played Stafford without his weapon. So a lot of the wins they got early on was fool's gold. And Chicago fans knew it was fool's gold. They should have beat Washington, though. That wasn't fool's gold. It's just, bad mistake by the DB, So, but honestly, I think you just let them figure it out. Let them play through it. See what the new offensive coordinator, who was with Bryce Young last year, what he can draw up. But, anything, I think, just try to get that run game going. Just run the ball, play action. Try to get the ball out of his hands fast. But, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, to get over that hurdle. It's going to be tough to make it through this situation. And, people look at the weapons that he had, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, Romeo Oduzier, whatever his name is, from Washington. Cole Kmet is a really good tight end in this league. So, you look at the weapons that he got, you're saying, what's wrong? And and it seemed like when they were starting to turn it around, a couple weeks ago, they was running the football. They were literally running the football. They was running the football easily. They was finding a way to run the football. Offensive line was coming together. And now they ain't scored a touchdown in so many weeks. So, like I said, get back to running the football, stop trying to, I seen kind of the design they had last, coming to the season. You don't go out there and make sure you get the best guards, the best tackles and all. Then they've been drafting guys, but you go out there and go get 3 receivers. Outside of DJ Moore, you went out there and got Keenan Allen and Romeo Oduzier. And my thing was, you look at a lot of the 3 receivers that got picked high, ain't really, none of them really having that impact like that. Marvin Harrison, he's solid, and, Malik Neighbors only can do what he can do because of the quarterback situation. But Brian Thomas Jr. is having the best season of all of them, at least in the first round. He balling over there. You know what I'm saying? He is legitimately balling. But when I seen they was trying to go over there and surround him with a bunch of pass catchers, I said this, and I've been on record saying this. I said they're not gonna be good this season. What they should have did was protected him. Make sure the offensive line is good. Make sure you got a power back that go with DeAndre Swift. Make sure, you get a bigger target, Romeo Douzé, whatever, Cole Kmet, you got DJ Moore. Make sure you just be able to run the ball, hand off, play action, go down the field. You got a big target in Cole Kmet, you know what I'm saying? But they went out there, they wanted to get all these weapons and they wanted to throw the football around. You do know you play a Soldier Field. It ain't no dome on that or retractable roof on that arena yet. So, yeah, at the end of the day, he got to figure it out. He got to figure it out. Let him figure it out. Continue to protect him with the play calling. Run the football, do screens to the backs, tight ends, receivers. Run it, play action. Try to get the ball, move the chains, get the ball downfield every now and again. But when he kind of came in, was talking about we got to pick up the trash and we got to do this, and it was a lot when. Some of the veterans, kind of didn't like him coming in. Remember, they was kind of saying he had to do this, he had to do that, or, they ain't like his personality, they ain't like his reputation coming in, and all that type of stuff. And, in some of the moments when they were USC and they had big games versus Notre Dame, and he would crumble in the spotlight, he was talking about after losing, going home and crying to his mother and crying with his dog, painting the fingernails. That's just not a guy that I want leading my franchise. Too sassy, too feminine. In the city of Chicago, only strong survive in Chicago. That wind going, crazy ass ninjas in Chicago. That's a very, very strong city. Maybe he a great quarterback for Southern California, the Chargers. Who else play there? The Rams. He a probably good quarterback for Holly Weirdo, but a tough city like Chicago. He ain't built for that, bro. Even though he from Maryland, he ain't built for that weather. He ain't built for that character of that city, and that mean he can't develop into that. It don't mean he can't develop into that. But just kind of hearing the stories about his mental makeup and crying and how his teammates at UFC didn't necessarily care for him and said, we a team now, when he, after the bowl game, and him crying, the fingernail polish, the sassiness, I just don't really think that's a guy that you want, spearheading your franchise. And a lot of the players rejected him before he got there. They believed him to the hype, didn't give him an opportunity to get to know the kid. You know what I'm saying? It was rumors that he was asked for ownership stake in the team and all this other stuff, getting his money paid this way, and he hadn't done anything. And even when they were winning games, they was winning in spite of him because of that defense. So some people is different. Jaden Daniels, some people learn faster. He got, been in college for 20 years. Hey, you that dude at Kansas still there that played at Michigan, Hunter Dickerson. Oh, that dude got to be at 10 years in college, bro. So Jaden Daniels had a lot of snaps, but he would just have to figure it out. He's been paid too much money, and I think that Benjamin at this point, he just going to have to go, you hope he don't get ruined through that stretch, but as a play caller, we got to protect him. We're going to play ball control. We're going to run the football. We're going to play action, and we're going to try to do what he do best. Get him on the run, get him on the boot. But, boy, they got a brutal stretch. And if he can make it through this stretch into the offseason, and he can have some success in this stretch, he's going to be a hell of a quarterback in this league, in my opinion. But if he crumbled through this stretch of football, he started to break and shatter, they may never be able to get his confidence back. So, we'll see. Maybe they be in the draft for Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward or Quinn Ayers. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. Hit the link tree, find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Check out the MC North playlist. Peace.